How many times have you ever been in a low-income area and wondered where the grocery stores were located? Or how many times have you ever been in a low-income area and noticed that it lacked food options? How about how many times have you came across an African American family and at least one member or more was suffering from the disease of obesity? Obesity is a chronic disease that deals with the excessive body fat. Obesity can also be the cause for other chronic diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and or cancer, which are all major killers within the Black community. However, my name is Monique Williams, and I would like to discuss a few factors that play into obesity being so high within the Black community. There are many factors that contribute to the exceptionally high rate of obesity in Black families, whose income is low. However, I will only discuss two. One is poor access to healthy food options, and the second is environmental disparities. In low-income African American communities, it is more likely to find more fast food restaurants than grocery stores, whereas in other racial neighborhoods, fast food options are not heavily available compared to Black neighborhoods. According to Angela Hilmer, the author of The Neighborhood Disparities in Access of Healthy Foods and Environmental Justice, studies done in Los Angeles, New York City, and New Orleans found that unhealthy foods were more heavily promoted in African American communities, which I can find to be true because I remember growing up in the lower income parts of town and having such easily access to fast food options rather than the grocery store. Therefore, I can remember sometimes having multiple meals from fast food restaurants in one day. This was all due to the lack of grocery stores being close enough in range for my family and I to get to so that my mom could buy healthy food options to cook meals at times. Not only is heavily promoted fast food a problem, but food deserts as well. According to Kelly Brooks, a professor at the University of Johns Hopkins, food deserts have been a major problem within low-income areas since the mid-1900s. The USDA defines food deserts as urban neighborhoods in rural towns without readily access to fresh and healthy food options. However, according to North Carolina General Assembly, there are 349 food deserts in 80 of North Carolina's counties, leaving more than 1.5 million North Carolinians to live in food desert areas, causing for the residents who live in these areas to suffer from obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and other diet-related conditions. Therefore, a lack of access to healthy food options and ability to get to the grocery store in low-income areas plays a major role in obesity being so high. Meanwhile, environmental disparities can also play a role as to why obesity is so high in low-income African American families. According to Kelly Brooks from the University of Johns Hopkins, Black low-income areas lack the access to public gyms or playgrounds, which causes people not to get the adequate amount of exercise each day that's needed. This can cause for the body to store much more fat than usual. Brooks also stated that she learned through an interview that the reliance on public transportation, responsibility to care for family and themselves, and the struggle to stay substance-free takes a toll on families. Therefore, the added stress that comes with living in low-income communities can also affect someone's health, because stress can cause for one's body to shut down and not to properly function as needed. Overall, low-income families are subject to unfair treatment due to the lack of healthy foods and environmental disparities, which leads to a higher rate of obesity in African American families. One way we can make a change is to fight for better food options to be placed within low-income areas. So that people can have access to healthy food options, we can also ask for the living conditions to be changed to give people in low-income areas more relief. Because even though they might not have as much money as the richest, does not mean they should not have equal treatment to a fair and healthy environment.